Caden, how you doing, brother? You are first. Foxy, what is going on? How's your weekend going? I think we're just about ready to go here. Yep. I was running super late earlier, but somehow I got caught up. I got up to where I need to be. So I think we'll be ready to go right on time. All right, so I'm going to fade this out a little bit. Down right about in here somewhere, right about there. There we go. A regular weekend, you know what? That's nothing to complain about. Sometimes that's what's best. All right. I think we're good. Here we go. So we are in, we're going to do some ATS today. And it's kind of a big deal. It really is. I didn't, I try not to get too sentimental. But this is kind of a big deal, kind of a big weekend. I'll tell you about it as we get rolling. So we are in our Volvo that we were in last stream. This is our 3-axle Volvo. 4 axles total, but 3 axles in the back. And then 3 axles on a short intermodal trailer. And most of the jobs that I was seeing for this were the generators. But we'll see if we don't get some other more interesting jobs as we go on. And we're taking this to Price. Is that right? Taking it to Price, Utah. And then as soon as we get to Price, we're going to try to pick up another job heading, that would be east into Colorado. I want to see how the FPS are doing. And for that, let's do this as well. And like I said, it's going to be kind of a weird stream today, but just bear with me. So we're going to come down here. We're going to go to gameplay. And we're going to turn off fatigue. Oh, you know what? It's still off. It's still off from when I turned it off last time. Perfect. I had forgotten all about that. Long chassis. I hear you, Foxy. I'm a big fan myself. All right, so we'll hop in here. Let's get the TrackIR recentered and let us be on our way. I've been seeing a lot of patches for 1.40, and I feel like, I hope, they've got it just about dialed. I think they do. But there we go. Now we're started. I was seeing a battery icon and I could not figure out why. Weren't quite running. All right, here we go. So they do continue to update 1.40, and I feel like they're getting it closer and closer to, I don't know, it's never going to be perfect. Nothing ever will be, but I feel like they're getting it really close. I'm impressed. I mean, it's a beta, so you have to expect that, but I know the first couple times that I was in it, I noticed some little rough edges. But that's literally what beta is for, so they can sort all that stuff out. And what I wanted to take a look at today, in particular, was, here we go, the FPS in Colorado, because I think they fixed it. So that would be Colorado and Idaho as well. There's also a kind of a forested area there. And I felt like we were really seeing some FPS dips. But then the last couple times that I went through, it seemed better. So I want to head up that way and see both daylight and darkness, what we get for FPS, and if they've addressed that. I know they know it was a problem. Enough people mentioned it, so they must have. All right, what's this say? Yeah, I agree. And I think, I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks that the developers have tested the trucks and trailers, and that any truck with any trailer can access any part of the map other than the multiple articulated dolly trailers that have like three joints in them. I don't think anybody can back those up. I mean, maybe some godlike person can back those up, but I feel like those are pull through, so there would obviously be some yards where you could only pull in and then loop around and pull out, since you could never back those up. But other than those, I would like to think that every truck and every trailer can go on every part of the map, because if not, the developers are sort of setting you up for failure, that you could end up with a truck and trailer combination that just would not fit through a certain part of the map. And that's, I don't think good devs do that, because that, right, that's just it's not broken, but you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. You can't do it. It doesn't matter how good you are, you can't do it. But other than that, I would like to think that any problem that you have in a truck or a trailer could come down to skill. And so when you talk about late game, yes, absolutely. The more money you have and the bigger trucks you can afford, in time you can have combos that are so massive that you've really got to, like, I don't know, have the experience and have the skill set to make it work. And I'm going to slide over here. We're on, if I can, how do we want to do this? Can we do it this way? I think we want to go straight and turn into this fuel station here and then go around the back, maybe? I don't know. We need fuel. We're on about a half a tank. We've got 350 miles to go till we're empty. I don't know. I don't know. Pull in or just keep going. What do we want to do? I'm just going to go. I don't want to get all turned around. And you know what? It made up my mind for me because there's a curb here and we can't mount the curb. Do you know the hills in some forest states? I'll climb with 40 tons. You mean in-game or in real life? I know in real life there are definitely some grades that you cannot get up with certain loads. If they need to get something particularly heavy up that specific grade, they'll use a pusher behind, but that's, you have to almost close the highway to do it. So I know in real life that is the case. I don't know if it's that way in game. That would be a nice detail.
Stay left, then turn left. Turn left.
I'm trying to time this light. Beautiful. Perfect. So yeah, we will drive in Colorado and Idaho. Damn it. I don't know what is causing that. What happened right there just now is my game minimized. For some input minimized my game to the taskbar, and I was just looking at my desktop. I don't know what is causing that. It's a big problem. I'm getting a phantom input from somewhere. I have no idea where. You didn't see anything because the game was still capturing her. It might have gone black for a second, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, that is a big problem. I mean, in a game like this, nothing's really on the line. But if that happened in like a race sim or a shooter or something, that could be very problematic. I can't find anything on it, any type of information, other than phantom input. Like something is telling the game to minimize, but what exactly? So, all right, sorry about that. I get a little flustered every time that happens. So today's a big day. This is going to be my last stream for at least a few days. A little, okay. A little. Now, was that an ATS or ETS? Alright, and this road, you know what? I feel like this road was closed before, and we're going to get a ticket right in front of these cops. Oh, no, we made it. I feel like this road was closed before as we were leaving Farmington. Okay, so it goes. ATS? Okay. Now, dirt road, I mean, I guess that's a little different. So that would be like a little, like back to a mining facility. Oh, all right, there you go. We'll just take the next right. No big deal.
Turn right.
This is going to be my last stream for at least a few days. I would say the longest that I'm going to be down. I hope it's no more than about a week or two. But I am going to be moving house. Tomorrow evening will be my last night here. And then I will be on my way. I'm only moving across town, so that's not bad. Oh, you know what? No, we're okay. 300 miles till we're empty. We're okay. 3 kilometers an hour? Yeah, and that's with the... I mean, at 3 kilometers per hour, you can engage the differential lock and just stay in a low gear, but that is very, very slow. I don't know if I would call that a bug. I mean, it's not... It's certainly not fun. You know, but perhaps it is in the spirit of the game. I don't know. Definitely annoying, though. You're right. So definitely down for a few days, hopefully no longer than about a week or 10 days. And when I come back, I will be streaming on Twitch exclusively. However, I will be I'm going to capture the video from Twitch and then upload it to YouTube. So if you have not been following along with the story, since I started streaming, the channel has not grown. Seriously, we've had 0 net subscriber growth in 5 months. And apparently that is because YouTube does not recommend streamed content to new subscribers or to people that are not subscribed. So nobody is seeing my stream content as recommendation. If new people don't see it, they don't come and check out the stream. If new people don't come and check out the stream, they don't subscribe. So until I start posting videos again, apparently the channel is just not going to grow. So we're going to try to cover both at the same time, and what we're going to do is stream to Twitch, which I think will be a better platform for the content, and then download the stream and wrong fat finger, wrong button, and then download that content and upload it to YouTube as a video, and hopefully they will begin recommending it again, and the YouTube channel will continue growing. So that is, I know we got about 285 miles to go, hopefully. You know what? I can. I haven't linked it yet, but I can. I thought about doing that. You know what? Next place we get to where we can stop, I'll grab it. I'll throw up the BRB screen and grab it and put it in the description. So yeah, we're going to be streaming on Twitch exclusively. I think that'll be more of a home to me, and I didn't plan it this way. I never plan anything, by the way. I don't know if you know that about me. I never plan anything. Things just work out. But I started this channel 3 years ago, almost to the day. I started the first week of March 2018. And since then, we've posted just over 1,000 videos. I've met a bunch of people. I've learned a ton about streaming, about gaming, about the internet, everything. I've had an absolutely wonderful time. I've had so much fun doing this, and I would recommend it to everybody. If you're thinking about streaming, if you're thinking about posting content, do it. It is a lot of fun. But I think YouTube is, I think we've sort of maxed out as far as what we can do with YouTube. So Twitch is a gaming platform, and I know YouTube and Google have kind of struggled. They had YouTube Gaming a couple years ago. That didn't really work. They folded that into some other things, and you know, they're just kind of finding their way. And then look at Microsoft. What was their platform called? I can't even remember. Mixer? Was that Mixer? That was just a year or so ago. And they spent all that money and brought all those big time streamers over, and you know, they just didn't get it right. So it's tough. I know it's hard to crack the code, whatever, find the right formula for a company. I think it's tricky on the creator side as well. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing here. So I think Twitch is a better fit. I hope it will be, and I think it will be a good opportunity to begin posting videos again, because I mean, as far as YouTube is concerned, a video is a video. I think it's just the difference between an uploaded video and a stream. So even though we will be uploading what will essentially be a stream, I don't think the algorithm cares. So hopefully it'll begin recommending that, and we can pick up some new subs on YouTube and continue on our way. That's where we're at. But I'll be down, hopefully not too awful long. And I think we may actually go through Moab. I used to live in Moab, by the way. It's a very, very special place to me. So anytime, even in a video game, anytime I get close to Moab. Sorry, couldn't get to the switch for the main beams. There we go. Turn those down. So that is what is going on there, and that is why we're in the truck. I thought that would be, now the very first video I did, it's still up there. If you want to see it, it is awful. It is absolutely awful, but the very first video I posted was ATS. And so I thought, let's do it. Let's do a truck vid. Universal, what is happening? How you doing, man? Now, I know it is nighttime, but so far, absolutely 0 FPS problems. And I did notice, so early days of 1.40, I did notice they had, it was kind of a cascade of lights down the windscreen. And I believe it was supposed to represent the way that the headlights of a car kind of, I don't know, it's like a compound reflection, like they're in the mirror, and then the mirror shines on the windscreen, and then, right? I don't know, something. I think they either took that out or they thinned it out, dumbed it down. They did something with it because I haven't really noticed it. But what I did see is when we were driving through town, and you may be able to see it here, so it's like the lights from the businesses by the side of the road. Yeah, they're up on the window now. See if you can see this when we go past the hotel here. Oh, and here's fuel too. Perfect. Yeah, we might not be able to see it here because we're going to be going so slow. But I feel like they've got either a different effect or they've modified the other effect. This is going to be tricky. With a 3-axle. It's going to be tricky. We may even back out of here. Just pull in to get fuel and then back out. Alright, and let me read these two. You know what? I'll do both. Let me throw one up in the description. And I can even do that now. I should have done it before I started. No, you know what? I won't do that. I don't want to disrupt the stream. Carefully pull in here. And we may try to pull through. We may back out. TBD. Right. So windows down. Lights off. Set the brake. Engine off. And let's fill up. And Foxy, let me see. I will post a link, but if you are looking for me, it's just the Portable Gamer on Twitch. And I want to say I've got like 4 or 5 subs. So there aren't too many variations of that name. And I think I also have my chop up there. So you would see my icon, the little gamepad with the chord spelling TPG. Alright, so there's that. Windows back up. You think we can get out pulling straight? Let's just be very careful here. Mount the curb. We didn't hit anything though. Yeah, it looks like, if I look back here, yeah, it looks like we're going to hook that in. So I think we want to back up. And I can't get the front over, so we're going to start to jackknife. Oh, it's so exciting. All right, so we cleared that. So we'll stop and let this truck pass. Maybe. Maybe. Carefully. There they go. And I think what we want to do is straighten this out a little bit. And then hook it to the left. There we go. Yep, no worries. And I will, I posted it at everyone on Discord about this being, well, I didn't really mention that it was the last stream, but I don't know. I feel like it is, it's not quite the end of an era, but you know what I mean. I can't believe it's been 3 years and 1,000 videos. I would not have thought 1,000 videos. You know, because when you post the first one, it's like, well, 1, 2, 3. How long is it going to take to get to 1,000? So it's been about 1 per day for 3 years. Drove the Fendt Favorite from my house and back all day today. Oh, so that was like your commuter? Interesting. I saw, I can't even remember how long ago it was, a couple of years, but there was a sim farm streamer that I was watching, and they said if they could, they would commute in a tractor. And it's like, I don't know, man. I like tractors too. I don't know if I'd want to commute in a tractor. Big B, what's happening, brother? How you doing? Ooh. Man, I love the Edoras line. You know my favorite thing? I've got a thing for trams. I don't know if you know that about me. I love trams. Something about them. I think it's from, I don't know, spending a lot of my childhood in the UK and continental Europe. It's a very European thing. And I think that's part of it. I don't know exactly. But I love trams, and I love that the Edoras line starts on tram tracks, like in town, and then you just sort of you leave a little. It's not a city. I guess it's a city, small city, but you leave a city street, make a turn, cut through a field, and all of a sudden you're switchbacking up through the mountains. I really like the Erosa line, and the other is the Bernina, I think. And there's a third one. There's a third Swiss Mountain Railroad in Train Simulator 2021. No, I'm going to be continuing to stream. I'm going to be streaming on Twitch exclusively, and then I will be downloading the streams from Twitch and posting them on YouTube as videos. But there's been, since I started streaming, we've had zero net growth, and I found out the reason is that YouTube does not, they will not post streamed content in recommended for anybody unless you're really, really big. So no new subscribers are being exposed to any of the streams that I've done. And without that exposure, then nobody sees the channel. And if nobody sees it, nobody subs. So we've had, I've been streaming for 5 months, and we've been completely flat. We have not gained a net sub in 5 months. So time to move on. I kind of wanted to do it anyway. Yeah, big fan of the Swiss railroads. I think they are probably my favorite, and I like the whistles as well. And I'm also going to be moving house tomorrow night. Most everything is packed up. I've got a few more things to pack up, and then I've got to pull the rig apart and box this all up very carefully. And I'm only moving across town. It's a 10-minute drive, but I'm going to be down anyway, so we figured let's just make some lemonade. I did not stream yesterday. I was packing. So we're going to make some lemonade out of the move, and since I'm going to be down anyway, we're going to reconfigure the rig. I may pull the trigger on a face cam and a green screen and the whole deal. I mean, what I would want to do is get like 4 webcams. So we would have a wheel cam, a pedal cam, you know, shifter cam, puppy cam, I don't know. And then run all those in through a hub, and as we're doing the stream, we could switch around from this camera to that camera depending on what was appropriate. At a minimum, have a face camera, triple monitor, right, indirect LED lighting on the wall, the whole deal. Thought about just doing that, but we may hold off on that. And the Erosa line is based in the German-speaking area. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I always forget that Switzerland has 3 official languages. 2 or 3? And we talked about it before. They also have, it's Schweizerdeutsch, but it's, now is that categorized as its own language or as a dialect? As far as I know, Twitch keeps a stream up for 60 days as a VOD. Okay, and here, as we're going past these businesses, you can see them reflected on the driver's side glass. See if we can get a good one here. And of course we can't. It's a new effect that they've added where you've got whatever it is that you're passing will be reflected in the side glass. Swiss German is a dialect. Okay. Roger that. So the VOD will be available on Twitch for 60 days. I believe that's their default policy. But I'm also going to download a copy and upload it to YouTube and see if we can trick the algorithm into thinking that I'm posting videos. And technically they will be. But they will be videos of a stream. And the only thing I need to confirm is that when I download that it's got the chat on screen. Because as it is now, like if you watch a VOD on YouTube, you'll notice like the live chat will get out of sync sometimes. So I think it's almost like an audio track on a movie where they're separate and one can be intact and the other is damaged, or they can get out of sync or whatever. So as long as we can have all the chat from the Twitch streams included, because if not, I'm just talking to myself and it doesn't make any sense. So as long as anybody watching the VOD of the Twitch stream on YouTube can see what people in chat are saying, I think that'll work out. Yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm trial and erroring. Is that a verb? It is now. I'm just kind of trial and erroring my way through it. Need to switch a setting to get the stream to save. To save permanently or to save for 60 days? I don't know anything about this. I was under the impression that 60 days was the default. And then after that, they just went away. But you can't save them permanently? I mean, I have no reason to. Just curious. Oh, trying to read chat. Almost just wadded her up right there. Welsh compared to American or Australian. Got it. Yep. I know there are some, there's some pretty intense dialects and accents. Fried, what's happening? How you doing, man? You know, I don't know if I would want to save them permanently. Austrian accent sounds like farmer to German people. I wonder if that's because of the mountains. That Austria would be considered a more rural area. Right? So this is Hole in the Rock. It's a real thing. I mean, obviously it's a real thing because they tend to put little details like that in the game, but that's an old, I don't know, it's like a logger or something. It's a... It was used for something, like a mushroom farm? I don't know. But it's like a cave in the sandstone cliff there just south of Moab. So yeah, we'll be coming around the bend here. And we will be in Moab. This was a crazy place to live, by the way. Town of 3,000 people out in the desert in Utah. Oh, okay. So the maximum that you can keep the VOD for is 60 days, but by default, that setting is off. I think I'm understanding that right. Back on the COD grind? I hear you. I hear you. I cracked the code with Arma 3 the past couple days, and I feel like I'm beginning to make some progress with that game. And you know what's really funny is if you play it, like, I didn't plan to do it this way. I just started playing the Apex scenario. But if you play it the way I'm playing it, it's like a non-cartoon version of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Right? Like, that was the big complaint about Ghost Recon Breakpoint is this is not a serious game. This is just a shoot 'em up. This is not a Ghost Recon title. And the way I'm playing Arma 3, I feel like it's sort of what I wanted Ghost Recon Breakpoint to be. I mean, it's brutal. It's so difficult. But you're running around an island in the South Pacific by yourself, causing all kinds of mayhem. All right, Universal, thanks for stopping by, brother. I appreciate you. And you might not see me for probably a week or so, but I'll be around on Discord, and then I'll be back better than ever. Yeah, Breakpoint it's ridiculous. It really is. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Ernie, how you doing, man? Welcome. Yeah, Breakpoint doesn't know what it wants to be. It never did know, and even when they tried to fix it by pulling out the gear score, it was just too little, too late. So, Arma 3, though, it's exactly what I wanted. It's like, it's heavier than Breakpoint and lighter than Tarkov. It's right in the middle. But I was on that struggle bus for a minute. Wildlands is awesome. It's amazing that the studio that made one could then turn around and completely screw up the sequel. How do you do that? So, Arma is right in the middle. I was on the struggle bus, and I took a look around. I went to Reddit, and I guess a lot of real military play titles like Arma and Squad and Postscriptum and so forth. And I actually found some legit scholarly research that people are beginning to use it for PTSD. Because apparently the conclusion now is the PTSD response it's a completely natural response. It's just happening in the wrong time and place. So what people feel when they have like a PTSD, an acute episode, is they're just feeling an appropriate response to being in a combat zone. Problem is they're no longer in a combat zone. So in the same way that like aversion therapy, normally you would try to avoid something. But there's a school of thought that says, no, you don't avoid it. You expose yourself to it until you're numb to it. So they're using super intense, realistic milsim to treat PTSD, because it's like, well, I'm going to have the response either way, but if I hop in this video game, now I've put myself sort of mentally and emotionally in a place where my response is no longer inappropriate. It fits right in. You not used to working weekends or 12-hour days? Yeah. Another downside of lockdown. Oh, look at this. The sun coming up over the desert. Beautiful. Oh, carefully. Trying to read the chat. Let me see. A little zoomy. All right. I'll look for you.
Stay left, then turn left.
Okay. I mean, we'll track each other down, and if not, the link is in the Discord.
Turn left.
I'm sorry, the link to Discord is in the description down below, and we can all just coordinate on Discord, and I'll post a link for Twitch there as well. Game looks really, really good. I feel like they've made a lot of progress in the lighting since 1.40 dropped. Fallout and Elder Scrolls, I've never played either of them. I've watched people stream them. I want to say, from what I've seen on stream, they're both sort of up and down. You know, they're absolutely legendary franchise titles, but then every now and then the developer will totally drop the ball. I think, what was it, Fallout 76? Like one of the most disappointing games ever. So I think they do their best with it, but, you know, no dev is perfect. And we want to be going 80. Beautiful. So, Arma 3, yeah, let me tie that off. So, Arma 3, I was really struggling, and I found some Reddit threads, and a lot of real military play it, and they were like, yeah, that's how hard it is. That's what drone strikes are for. Like, the idea of one soldier taking out half a dozen people that are inside houses and sheds and farmhouses, it's extremely difficult. You know, the defender always has the advantage. They've got the ability to hide, they have cover, and they don't have to move. So it is extremely difficult, even for a group of people, to take a defended position. But the idea of one person taking a defended position from 6 is, tactically, that would be an absolute last resort. You would avoid that at all possible costs. And that is literally what drone strikes are for, because it's so difficult to do. So the fact that, you know, I'm struggling to fight my way across an island as a solo operator and take out multiple enemy soldiers, yeah, it's hard in the game, it's hard in real life, and it is supposed to be very realistic. And the fact that you can do it at all in the game, if anything, means that the game is somewhat not realistic. So once I sort of cracked that and slowed way down, I saw that also in a bunch of threads. People that were real military, or at least that said they were real military, said, oh yeah, I'm not rushing in anywhere. I'll sit in the bushes for 3 hours with binoculars and a notepad, just watching what people are doing before I make any crazy moves. So slow way down, don't play it like an arcade game, and I'm starting to have some real good success with Arma 3. I really do like it, so I'm glad I found the title. It's exactly what I wanted. It's not as brutal as Tarkov, but it's a lot more realistic and slow and challenging than Breakpoint. So, and it's on sale till March 1st for like $7. Fallout really has an up and down. Yeah, now Elder Scrolls is more, Elder Scrolls is like straight RPG, and Fallout is, how would you describe Fallout? I mean, it's not quite RPG. It's story-driven. I don't know. And it's only 6:30. Whoa. It's only 6:30, but we already can't see our headlights. So I think there's almost 2 separate lighting engines running in the truck sims now. You have one for nighttime and one for daylight. And I feel like one has to turn off before the other one can turn on. So I feel like dusk and dawn, there's one lighting system in place and it's missing something. So when the nighttime lighting is on, it doesn't have overhead sunlight, but you can still see headlights. And then at some point it switches and you've got overhead light coming from the sun, but you can't see your headlights anymore. Fallout is RPG? Yeah, I hear you. Sci-fi RPG. I mean, it does have a lot of crafting, and crafting that's a pretty specific RPG type of component or mechanic. I like the art direction, and I like the sense of humor in Fallout quite a bit. Like I said, I've never played it, but I've watched people play it, and I think just the whole I don't know, production, what would you call that? The motif. It's just a fun kind of silly game. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Fallout New Vegas. Haven't heard anything about it.
Get ready to turn left.
So when you say you built a settlement there, you mean you spent 25 hours building it, or you were able to protect it and keep it going for 25 hours? Alright, let's get down to first here. God, I do love TrackIR. And let's just be careful here. Alright, they're turning. I've learned to be super, super cautious of the AI. Old game, people still love it.
Stay right.
What's the oldest title that anybody's playing right now? I think for me, it's probably ATS 2, which is 2012, but then 25 to 30 real life hours. Right on. That's commitment, man. How many sessions? I would say ETS 2 is the oldest title that I'm playing right now. I'm trying to think if there's anything older. Yeah, everything else, X-Plane is 2017. And, yeah, everything else is new. F1 2020 is 2020, naturally. All the milestone stuff is 2020. Arma 3 is 2015, 2016, 2014. Okay, it could be Arma 3.
Turn left.
8 4-hour sessions. Let's very carefully get through here. Skyrim. Yeah, that game, I remember seeing that game when it first dropped, and again, I haven't played it, but I remember how groundbreaking it was. The big world, the graphics, the interaction, all of it. Now, which one has proximity chat with local players? Is there, I'm trying to think of an RPG where your mic is on all the time, and if your party walks past another party, you can just hear them talking and they can hear you. I mean, you can turn it off, obviously, or if you don't have a mic.
Get ready to turn left.
Need for Speed. Yeah, I mean, how long's Need for Speed been around? That first one came out like, oh, hang on. Did not see that. Was going to go straight into the barricade. Need for Speed, first one dropped mid-2000s. Same as Gran Turismo, old school Gran Turismo. It's so funny to see the old 94, wow. It's so funny to see the old marketing material for the original Gran Turismo, the real driving simulator. And you look at it now, it looks like Donkey Kong. But Rome wasn't built in a day, yo. You got to start somewhere. I was rallying the other day, and when I was checking out the replay, it was like watching a movie. 94, 96. Yeah, gaming has, in my lifetime, gaming has just, it's absolutely exploded. This looks really, really good. The new lighting definitely makes a tremendous difference, just in the depth and the softness of it. I think it looks amazing. Minecraft? How long's Minecraft been around? You know, I've never played Minecraft, and I've never even watched anybody play it. I don't know anything about Minecraft. I understand what the basic concept of it is, but I've never played it. Not even close. Gaming is the future? I think it is. I think gaming is going to save motorsport. Because I don't know how... What do we want to do here? We want to do this. I think gaming is going to save motorsport because electric motorsport... Nobody's going to watch electric motorsport. It doesn't matter how fast the cars go. You have to have the sound. It sounds ridiculous, but you've got to have the sound. Without the sound, I just don't see motorsport being as possible. 2011, 2009, 2011, yeah. I would not have thought it was that old. And that one person built that, did they not? Seven days earlier than Minecraft. And when Minecraft dropped, I wonder if the devs, I wonder if they anticipated that it would become like just this global phenomena. Can we... Is there a place to turn in down here? Man, I would really like it if we could... How do we want to do this? Just one dev? I thought so. I thought I heard that somewhere. So I think we need to just back it all the way around. 1,000 episodes of Minecraft. That's amazing. Motorsport. Yeah, I think e-racing is going to save motorsport. I think as the graphics get better and it becomes more widespread and people understand how difficult it is. And I would say it's probably, I don't know, 80%, 90% as difficult as the real thing. You don't have the fear factor. You don't have the danger factor. But it's tricky, man. Speaking as a person who's been on iRacing for like 2.5 years and has never won a race, it is really, really hard. It's difficult to be mediocre, but it is very difficult to be super fast. But it's got the sound, and I feel like sound is so critical in motorsport. When you say gaming is the future, I do think it could save motorsport. Yeah. Yeah, money is more money, more problems. Hang on, I'm trying to read chat and back this truck up. More money, more problems. That's what the poet said. It's... There's a thing they track in the US called the Misery Index. And it plateaus at about 75,000 for an individual and about 150 for a family. Below that, things can be a little tricky, but above that, it really does flatten out. So essentially what it means is an individual who's living on 75K in the US and an individual who's living on like 7.5 million are equally, for lack of a better word, happy. Because big money does bring problems. Yeah, we can swap the truck out. Doesn't matter to me at all. I do like the Volvo. I also like... I know it seems like we're just driving around this parking lot randomly, but I'm trying to get... I think the only way we can do this is to back it in from this side. So we need to get over here and then try to hook it around. I don't know how else to do it, so we've had to make quite a few turns here. I think my favorite thing about the Volvo is how big the interior and the sleeper is. It's ridiculous in there. I think big money brings problems. I think regular money solves problems. It's only when you get into, like, I don't know, that six-figure money, 6 knocking on 7, I think that's when you have problems. Because at some point, I mean, if you get enough money, your money just starts making money. It's like you can't lose money. And one of the things you do when you have that much money is you invest money to protect the money. You can't get rid of it. It just grows. But between being broke and being wealthy, I think there are certain levels where you cross over. You want those problems? I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I know when I was living in LA, I was doing really, really well. I was driving a BMW 5 Series and commuting from Palos Verdes to Irvine. Part of a software startup. I was one of the 4 founders of a software startup, and I don't know, man. The world becomes distorted and you start thinking that's real life. And I really wasn't happy about the person that I was becoming. So, hard to say. All right, so if we hop in here, so let's put the windows down. Brakes is set. Engine is off. Let's get unloaded, and then we'll hop in, and I will show you the sleeper. All right, 12 grand. I'll take it. For the next stream, let's do it for the next segment, because I might not stream for a minute. So let's go ahead and swap it out now. Let's do it right now. What are you thinking? So if we go over to, let's do this before we dip. Let's go over here, and let me show you the interior. Look at this back here. It's like a lounge, right? You got your little loft up there. Great big bed that folds down. You got down here, you got cupboards, you got appliances. Beautiful. Cozy, you know, but not as small as some. Okay, so if we go here, these are the trucks that I have available to drive. In fact, I'll do it with my mouse. It's going to be a lot quicker. So we've got, let me see, we've got the 3 Mac Anthem. We've got our 2-axle day cab local delivery. We've got the Volvo that we're in. We've got the 48-inch sleeper on the Mac. We've got our 389. And then we've got a 3-axle Western Star day cab. Owen, what's happening, man? How you doing? We've got our Freightliner on 2 axles. We've got our Peterbilt 579 on 2 axles. And I think that's all the trucks that I own that I have skinned right now. So if you got a preference, let me know. We'll hop in that right now. And I think we've got a garage. We are in Price right now, and I think we've got a garage in Salt Lake. We'll go to Salt Lake. 3-axle Western Star, you got it. All right, so if we hop in here now, table view, Western Star, we're going to drive this. All right, moment. All right. Turn the lights on. I think the mirrors are already set up. We'll take a look. Mirrors could use a little bump. Let's go ahead and do this. Get these all set properly. And what are you thinking for a trailer? So we got that. We've got hood right. Swing that out. Got our side mirror. Like so. Right side. And then small right. And I want to say this has, it's got the smallest cab, but it's got like the biggest motor in it. It's definitely a kind of a brute of a truck. All right, so we've got that. And we're going to go here. And we're going to relocate to, what do we say, Salt Lake? So we'll travel to Salt Lake. It's a day cab, 3-axle heavy hauler. There we go. How's that? All trailers are cool. I think so. Let's do this. If we go back to our trailers, so we've got this monster lowboy. I don't think we want to haul that. Haul this? Sure, let's do that. It's a logging trailer, and this is a logging truck. So then we want to relocate this to Salt Lake, like so. And then we'll use it. Trailer's been attached. Let's see what this looks like. This is going to be an odd rig, but there you go. Oh, that is just pure utility right there. All right. Log trailer. That's what I was thinking. All right. So now we need to get a job going, and it is once again nighttime, but what can you do? All right. So the next closest thing we have is, we've got pipes going to California, Nevada. We need something going to Colorado. Oh dear, now we've done it. Oregon, Nevada, Utah, Arizona. Oh, that's a long trip. That's a long trip. We're trying to get over here. Now, what about anything going out of here? We do have jobs going out of Denver. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go to the garage. Let's go to Denver. Yeah, let's just do this. And then we'll need to...
Time to get the job done.
Perfect. And the sun is up too. That works. And then if we go here, we'll go to our trailer. We'll dismiss it. Yes. We'll relocate it to Denver. And then we'll use it. All right. That was easy. And now we go here. And now we go here and here. And we got jobs going out of... So we want to go to New Mexico. But we want these trees. So instead of going south and then west, we're going to go west and then south. So we'll pick this job up. We got 14 hours to pick it up. And then we will have to remember to redo the routing, redo the nav. So we'll go through Grand and down to Gallup. Because I do want to see how these trees look, specifically around Durango. I feel like that was the worst problem for me with the trees.
Go.
All right.
Finding new route.
Let's take a look. Oh yeah, that is just brutal. That is not a truck that you would want to drive 1,000 miles. But that's what we're going to do. All right. Oh, God. It's got like that lopey idle. And we're not running any kind of engine pack at all. This is all base game sound. All right. So we'll get rid of this. This is upgraded, upfit. So we do have GPS in the dash. Got nothing back there. Yeah. Cup of coffee and a duffel bag. We're traveling light. All right. Brake is on, brake is off. Brake is off. Here we go. And we're good on fuel. Fuel is right there. Yes, we're topped off. Okay. Feeling a little bit of stutter right now. I don't know, man. Colorado is like cursed or something. It's rendering well. It's just got a... It feels like a little bit of stutter. Yeah, I think there's one limitation on length, and then there's one limitation on weight per axle.
Stay left.
So I think as long as the length is permissible and as long as the weight per axle is okay, it doesn't really matter what the cargo is. All right, swing that right through there. And then we're going to turn here, the next one. First one, second one. Can we turn here? Well, we got a green light anyway, so we're going to make the turn.
Turn left.
And this is not a lift axle. I can't bring that front axle up. And I feel like the turning circle on this is about a half a mile, so we'll need to be very mindful of that. I love the echo when you're going under these concrete underpasses. Ramp traffic does not stop. Oh, okay. All right. What ramp? What are you talking about? Well, I'm glad we went to Denver instead of deadheading over here from Salt Lake. We teleported. Because we are getting to drive in daylight now. We already drove once at night, so we'll mix it up a little bit. All right. And then this business right here. Carefully. The old Kenworth. You mean the, what is it, the K200, the cab over? I think I had a mod for that a while back. I want to say it was an ETS. I don't think I've ever even driven it in ATS. I'm trying to think. I know I've had it as a mod. I know I've driven it. Pretty sure it was an ETS rather than ATS, because the one that I had was Australian. You could have left-hand drive, but it was, I guess, based on an Australian truck rather than an American truck. All right, so we got to swing way over here. I think it is a very cool looking truck. I love the stepped sleeper on the cab over with the little skylight windows. All right, so we get down to neutral. Get this picked up. Right there, and we're taking pipes. 40,000 pounds, not bad. And I have to remember to reset the nav. Okay, so we're going right over there. How do we want to do this? I think we have to... Oh, I remember this one. Yep, you pull forward and to the right and then back it in. I mean, they say this game doesn't have physics, but I was just watching the trailer bounce over that speed bump, and you could see the individual axles lifting on their suspension as we passed over it, but you could also see the entire trailer kind of bouncing. So as an axle went over, like as a set of wheels went over that speed bump, it would transfer a little bit of energy to the trailer and lift it a little bit. And then as that weight came back down, it would bounce a little bit, and it seemed to do that. I mean, it was very subtle. It wasn't like super over the top or anything. It was just a nice little, I don't know, reminder that the game does have some kind of physics. You would think. All right, so we'll go right over here. And then we can just back straight in there. Beautiful. I'm really liking what SCS is doing with the pickup points. I feel like they're just making them more and more detailed and more sophisticated as they continue to add DLC. Carefully. Yep, I think that K200 mod is, I mean, I know the first time I downloaded the RJL Scania, it was in ATS, and I drove that thing all over. I think it may have even been, yeah, because I got ATS when it first dropped. I don't even think there were regional DLC yet. I think the only areas that we had were, it was what, Southern California, Nevada, and part of Arizona? Unknown.
Ready to roll.
Foxy, I think that's a pretty new truck. So it could be they just don't have a 3-axle variant in real life. And we want, what do we want? We want the map. And then I guess we'll just go that way. Oh, God. It's sending us back out exactly the same way we came. So we'll go to Grand, and then we'll go down 550 to Durango, and then across. Beautiful. So we'll go through... we still streaming? Did the stream drop? Nope. Looks okay. This will take us through Grand, and we'll go down through Ouray and up over the Red Mountain Pass. Hang on, let me lean over here and reset my preview. My preview gets about, yeah, it's about an hour. I think the buffer just gets full on my old laptop that I have the stream running in, so I can see chat and everything. I feel like it just gets tired. Its little buffer gets full. Now, I've got a super fast gaming laptop. Well, I say super fast. It's pretty fast. Treats me right. But I save it for some lean back gaming. But I wonder sometimes if I shouldn't promote that to be the preview laptop and, I don't know, spend money. That's the takeaway for most of this stuff. The answer is spend money. All right, so we're reloading. I can't see the chat for the moment. There it is. All right. Stream is still on. Everything's fine. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been... there's some plugins. I'm using Xsplit rather than OBS, and there are some plugins you can get that
Drive safe.
bring the chat up on the screen that you're gaming on. So rather than having to look over at a preview, I could have everything on one screen. And the reason I'm reluctant to do that is I do some flight sim. And there's so much happening on the screen that I need to see. I wouldn't want necessarily anything to be obscured. So just, I don't know, solving these problems one trial and error at a time. They're not really problems. They're just, I don't know, things that can be improved. But ultimately, at some point, I would like to go to a 5-monitor setup where I have triples on my main system, and then above that, I have 2 monitors representing my streaming PC. But that's going to be a minute till we get there. And we want to go, oh, can we make this turn? That is like pro streamer. You know what I'm saying? When you got a 5-monitor setup. That's the big time. So probably not straight away, but I would like to get there at some point. And man, if you don't know where the name came from, I used to do all my gaming on a laptop, and we really did intend that the channel for its entirety would only ever be me gaming on a laptop. And the goal would be like, what kind of performance and what kind of a stream can I get out of a laptop? And we made it. We made it for a minute, but it is no longer portable. You can set it up as either frames. Give it to me. You can set it up as frames or as a transparency. So if you set it up as frames, then you're playing the game basically in a small window, but you can have like gauges for stream health. You can have it set up like gauges in a race car with various sort of graphical representations of everything. Because as it is right now, all my monitoring is done via numbers. So when I look over at my other monitor, oh, don't go there. One way only. When I look over at my other monitor, where I can see my stream health, it's just all numbers. I don't have any graphics representing anything. So I do have to kind of, I don't know, lean in to see the actual value. Whereas if it's a meter or a gauge, you can just see green, yellow, red, whatever. All right, we do have our turn signal on. All right, here we go. Yeah, you can do unbelievable things with technology. And I feel like I broke the seal. You know, I'm no longer portable. Since I'm not portable, the sky's the limit, right? I did reroute. We're going to go through Grand, and then they wanted to send us out into Utah and down 191, but I have us going south out of Grand on 550 through Ouray to Durango. I say all these place names, like I used to live in Grand. I used to live in Grand Junction, Colorado. So this is like, I don't know, man. Always gets me in my feels when I'm in this part of the world. My dad has two. One for his streams.
Stay left, and then exit left.
That's the setup that I have right now. Oh, no worries, Ernie. No worries at all. I appreciate the heads up. That's the setup that I have right now. I'm playing the game on a 33, and then I have as my second monitor, because my card only has two outputs. Oh, there goes that thing again where it minimizes. My card only has two outputs. I know I can get a splitter and run triples, but I don't think my card has the power to run triples. Even if we somehow kind of shoehorned it in there, it wouldn't be a good fit. So I just run doubles, and I have the game on a 33, and then I have stream health and Xsplit and everything else on a 27 next to it. And they're both at 1080p, so the load isn't too bad. 1660 Ti card will render at 4K, but just barely, and certainly not on doubles. So we're sticking with 1080p till we bump up to a 3000 series. Yeah, I'm no longer portable. I'm not even close. So now the nice thing is I can switch it over and become the permanent gamer, which sort of works on two levels, and the letters are the same. Yeah, oh man, I have my dream setup all laid out, and I was on iBuyPower, which it's like PC parts picker in the US. They've got pre-built systems where you just dial in your budget, and then it spits out various systems that are configured for that price, or you can build your own, or you can pick a pre-built one and swap out a few components, or you can just buy everything separately and build it yourself. So I went on iBuyPower, and apparently PCs are like not to be had right now. You know, there just aren't any. And I don't know if it's because of the graphics cards, I don't know if it's because of COVID, I don't know what's going on. Oh, thanks, Foxy. I sort of hate it. It sounds so boomer now. And it was supposed to be like a Hemingway thing, like a movable feast, a portable gamer. Nobody gets it. Nobody gets the Hemingway connection. And it just sounds boomer. So I know when I was playing Tarkov, there was one guy in my squad that, like, the first few times he heard my name, he didn't know people were calling me portable. He didn't know what they were saying, so he just started calling me Portibus. And it kind of caught. And then I was Portibus. Like, while I was playing Tarkov, I was just Portibus. So I've thought about switching it over and just being Portibus, because, I mean, all the cool streamers, you just have a, you know, you don't have a description. You just Ninja, Shroud, you know? Sequisha, you just got a fun, cool, catchy name. It doesn't have to be a description of what you do. So I'm not crazy about the portable gamer, but I feel like the brand has been around for 3 years, so I can't really swap it out. Yeah, it's still... we got past the Bitcoin thing. It was probably about 2 years ago that Bitcoin miners were driving up the prices. Yeah, you got to have one short, catchy, memorable name. And I do like Portibus, and the branding that I came up with for it is, so right now my brand, my shop is an old school, like it's an old school Nintendo controller with the chord spelling TPG. The other one I came up with was, it's a 3D rendering, it's more of a contemporary gamepad, and the chord turns into a wisp of smoke, and there's a genie popping out of it. So I like that quite a bit. I tested it. Some people liked it, some people really didn't like it, but that would be that. If I branded as Portibus, that would be the brand. It would be a genie smoking up out of a gamepad. So we'll see. I mean, there's still plenty of room. Oh, easy. There's still plenty of time to try to sort it out. Yeah, the Bitcoin miners were driving up the prices, but I feel like they caught production up to it. We don't have that, like the card manufacturers were able to get caught up, but now it's that everybody wants the 3000s. I know the prices on the 2000s are super, super low right now. For the Bitcoin miners, you mean? When they were buying them up? Because they were buying them like, even if you went directly to purchase through Nvidia, it was like maximum of 3 per customer total. So you could buy like one 2080 Super, one this, one that. It wasn't 3 per model, it was 3 total. I know in that era, whoa, easy. I know in that era, every time I heard my fans kick on when I wasn't expecting them to kick on, I was always looking at my PC like, are you mining Bitcoin right now? Are you? And I scanned pretty regularly. I don't think that was ever a problem, but I was always on the lookout for it. Yeah, that's smart when you think about it. Whoever came up with that, because you didn't really want a graphics card. You just wanted the type of calculation that it could do. It sort of lent itself to Bitcoin mining, but what you really wanted was a specific Bitcoin mining device or apparatus or whatever. So I'm glad that got sorted out. Now I think it's just a combination of COVID and everybody wanting those 3000 cards. But I think, for the titles that I play, I feel like I could really go with a 2000. RTX 2000. I think that'd be fine. Even something like a 2070 Super, 2080 Super. The games that I play look great at 1080p on a 1660 Ti. I don't play any super graphically demanding games. So that's one advantage of sim gaming that I think if you're into like AAA FPS or AAA, let's get slowed down here. AAA FPS or AAA, I don't know, fantasy, Tomb Raider, The Witcher. I feel like you've got to have the most recent card. Yeah, same. Bought a pre-built just to get a 3090? Yeah. Yeah, I think the 2000 series would work fine for me. I'm on a 1000 series right now, and it's working okay for me. I would like to go 4K, but I don't have a 4K monitor, so even if I did go to, technically I could go 4K right now, but my card would be working too hard. So when I go to either a 2070 or a 2080, I would like to go 4K, but then you got to go 4K monitor. And if you're going to go 4K monitor, it's not something you want to get at Walmart. I feel like the monitors that I use now, I use off-brand, I have no shame about that. I'd rather pay $100 for a 1080p monitor that I know is going to get knocked around than pay $1,000 for a Samsung 4K monitor. I mean, when the time is right, but for now, it's fine. Yeah, exactly, Fried. I know there are people that I subscribe to Digital Foundry. I don't know if you're familiar with them. Their channel, they don't really play games, they just test them. And I think for them, they absolutely need to have the latest and greatest at all times. But yeah, exactly. 2060 Ti, 2060, 2070, 2080 Super, any of those. Now, is anybody still running SLI? I thought with the 3000 series that there was no need for SLI anymore. And I know some people said that from the beginning SLI was kind of overrated. I think on the 2000 series you can still get the SLI bridge, but I don't know if it's worth it or not. All right, and we can take it up to 60 now. And there's also, there's a really cool add-on. Well, there was. I don't know if they're still making it. You probably find one used or get it on eBay or something. But there is, so I have an Omen laptop, an Omen gaming laptop, and I have an Omen gaming tower. I'd like to get another Omen tower. All right, Fried, no worries. But there's also a device called the Omen Accelerator, and it's essentially just a box with a Thunderbolt hookup, but it's got rack space inside it for a double wide, double thick graphics card and a massive power source. And I think maybe some storage space as well. RAM, maybe? It's like half a motherboard, I guess is a good way to describe it. So what you gotta did is you Thunderbolt that to your laptop. And then you put a graphics card and a power source in it. And Thunderbolt is fast enough that it can use the CPU in your laptop. And I've got a i7-9900, which is fine for what I do. But basically I would be able to run a full-size, full-length, single thickness or double thickness graphics card and like a 1000-watt power source. But I wouldn't need to get everything else to go with it. So the enclosure is like $250, and then you can get like a liquid-cooled 2070, 2080 for $600, $700. Power source is like $100, $150. So for less than $1,000, you would have kind of a booster for your laptop. Cheaper than a new tower and more powerful than what you could get if you got a whole tower and you don't have the heating problems of a laptop. So I've thought about getting the Omen Accelerator, see if that might sort some of my problems out. This is Glenwood Canyon, by the way. And the reason you can only see 2 lanes, the other 2 lanes are sort of weaving back and forth underneath us. Unbelievable engineering and super, super pretty to come down through here. And also Amtrak comes through here. If you take the train from west from Chicago, it goes to Green River, Utah, and it goes right down this canyon. It's one of the, I would say, the only like really pretty train trips that you can take in the U.S. If you want to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific or back, do it on the Canadian Railroad. Gorgeous the whole way. Amtrak is, they struggle. Amtrak is not the best way to travel in the United States, or anywhere really. But they do go through Glenwood Canyon. Definitely recommend it. It truly is. And Grand Junction is, well, Glenwood Springs is at the foot of the canyon, and then Grand Junction is another, I don't know, 50 miles past there. But I used to drive up and down this canyon probably once or twice a week when I lived in Colorado. It is absolutely amazing. Colorado is it's the prettiest state I've ever been in. I hope to live there again someday, and I would really like to have my ashes spread there when the time comes. It's the most special place I've ever been. You know, some places just feel like home the first time you go there. Colorado will always be home, no matter where I live. Oh, it's the only side that I need it on, and it gives me just a few FPS. I think in real life I would do the same thing, but it's just from my blind spot on the right-hand side. I think it looks kind of cool just having one. It looks very, very deliberate. You know? And the thing is, I rarely use it. Anytime I want to check my blind spot, I always turn my head. Ooh, easy. I'm liking this truck. Good pick, whoever picked this. So this is up above 6,000 feet, 7,000 feet. I'm more coming down because we'll be getting into the high desert when we get into Glenwood. But this time of year, it's still pretty cold. Probably about May to June when the snow melt starts. This little stream over here, this little creek to our left, becomes like terrifyingly, I don't know, what's the word for it? The flow just absolutely skyrockets. There's like 10,000 cubic feet per minute in this tiny, tiny little gorge coming down from all the snow melt. And it's one of those, I don't know if you've ever stood next to water that's like, I should probably back up a little bit. This is pretty intense. And that's the way that it's. I feel like I don't even want to get within about 15 or 18 feet of it. And there's no possibility. If you're 20 feet away and you fall, you're just going to fall down. You're not going to fall into it. You're just going to fall over. But just the possibility of falling in there. I mean, you'd be getting smashed on the rocks. You'd be getting hypothermic. And you'd be drowning all at once. Yeah. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about. I really do like Scotland. I lived in Glasgow. I mean, lived. I was there for 2 straight months. Lived, I don't know. Might be a little bit generous. But I was there for quite a while, and I love the weather. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like the weather, but just the fog and the mist, I don't know, it's just got that Tolkien feel to it. It's got that Middle Earth feel to it. Yeah, it would not be good, because it would take a minute. It would take a minute. You know, if you get hit by a train, it's just lights out. But being smashed against rocks and drowning in an icy Rocky Mountain river, like that would take a minute, and I suspect you would know the whole time, like, I'm not getting out of this one. And you can't really see it, but up on our left here is Grand Mesa, which is, they say, the biggest flat top mountain in the world. And there's a little ski resort, little local ski resort up there called Powderhorn. That's fun to go to if you can't find anywhere else to go downhill skiing. And then way, way up on top there is a Nordic ski area. And I used to go up there at night solo. Now in the winter, I mean, Colorado's not that far north, but, you know, wintertime, short days. So if you head up there at like 5 or 6 in the afternoon, 5 or 6 in the evening, by the time you got there, it would be fully dark, and I would just Nordic around on the top of the mountain solo. It's not really dangerous. I mean, if you fell and like broke your leg or twisted your ankle or something, you'd have to stay warm till they found you. But it was so beautiful and so crisp, and I don't know. You'd pass somebody every now and then. You know, you can hear people a mile away because it's so quiet, and then you'd see the headlamp coming through the trees. Just kind of pass each other on your skis. Whoa. Perfect time to read the chat. Yeah, I think in a situation like that, you know, it's like sailors back in the day. Old school sailors would not learn to swim. Like in the 1800s, they would not learn to swim because the goal was, if you fell off the boat, like in the middle of the ocean or something, that you'd want to be gone in a minute or two, because they couldn't turn around. And even if they could, it was sailboats. You know, that try to put one of the little whale boats over the side, maybe come back and get you, but not likely. So it was like you wanted to not know how to swim so you could just check out in a minute or two. No possibility of you know, lingering for a few hours. Cat is going crazy today. Yeah. I hear you. The Lady Portable just adopted... oh, no, I'm sorry. She's fostering. She's fostering a wee little puppy. And we are very much getting used to that. I haven't had a puppy around for a long time. And the foster agency, I wouldn't say they were, like, deceptive about it. But they were maybe not as forthright as they could have been. How we doing on fuel? Still good. They didn't quite give her as much detail as they should have as far as the age and demeanor. But it's a tiny little 8-pound puppy. And we're both just desperately trying to, like, keep an eye on her and keep her out of trouble.
Turn right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in the modern era, if you had, you know, a survival suit on, and if you had a beacon and everything else, and you knew it was just, you know, half an hour, 45 minutes for your crew to get whatever vehicle you were on turned around and come back and get you, that's bad enough. But, like, if they didn't even know you fell over, oh, bad. Just watching your ship go away. Oh, goosebumps. I'm giving myself goosebumps now, because you know that's happened. In the history of the world, you know that's happened like dozens, probably hundreds of times. Somebody just fell off a boat and was like, well, there you go, I'm dead. Oh, that's a terrible way to go. All right, so this is Grand, and we are making our turn on 550 now. Biggest fear, falling off a boat. So this is Grand here, and I think we are... Burn alive. Yeah, that was still good. You know what? I'm not going to turn my head. I'm going to use my little mirror. There we go. I think we're good. So I would say, and we can...
Go straight.
So if we can see the Mesa National Bank building. There's only one tall building in Grand. There it is. Right there, between the A-pillar and the donut, you can see that building there? That is the Mesa National Bank building. That's probably, I don't know, 12 floors, 15 floors. So we would be south of town? Yeah. So I lived like one block sort of, one block over, one block up from that building right there. I lived right on 3rd Street. In Grand. It's oh bad. What a good time to be there too. There's a mountain bike area just outside of town called the Tabawatch, which is closed now. You had to access it across private property, and they were okay with it for the longest time. And then they did block access to it, but unbelievable mountain biking, like from town. You could just ride to it from town. You didn't have to get in your car at all. And if you do want to get in your car, you could drive one town over to Fruta, which is some of the best mountain biking in the world. And then if you wanted to drive an hour and a half, you could drive to Moab, which is also amazing. And if you really wanted to drive, you could go to Farmington, New Mexico, which is also some of the best mountain biking in the world. So I moved there to mountain bike, and I definitely hit the mother lode. Then in the winter, Colorado, of course, you got skiing. Not too far from Telluride, not too far from Aspen. And also, I was very much into ice climbing, so I was down at the ice park in Ouray almost every weekend that the ice was in. Oh, and paddling. Colorado River goes right through town, so I was also whitewater kayaking when I lived there. The best. If you live in Colorado, when you move away, there's something missing. Right? Can't quite put your finger on it. Something's missing. And then you realize that in Colorado, every car you see has a roof rack on it. Everybody in Colorado is into outdoor sports, mountain biking, paddleboarding, kayaking, base jumping, something. Everybody in Colorado is into some kind of outdoor sport, so they got a giant roof rack on the Subaru. Oh, it was it was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was broke. I was skinny, and I was as happy as could be. There's a little restaurant right over here. That's not it. doesn't say fast food. There's a little restaurant right over here by the railroad tracks called the Puffer Belly, which is a greasy, way too big American breakfast. Right? Like 3 pounds of food for breakfast. It's amazing.
Turn right.
It really, really is. I mean, I want to be back there,
Turn right.
but that's not how life works out sometimes. All right. So right up this way. This is 550. This will take us down through Delta and Montrose. And then they take out a few towns. Ridgeway is one of the towns they take out. Ridgeway is, if you've seen the movie True Grit, either the original or the remake, they were both filmed in Ridgeway. And then from there, it is right up the canyon to Ouray, which I think it looks like a little Swiss mountain town.
Go straight.
And through here very carefully. This is where the Triumph Ducati dealer, that where I spent way too much of my money, was on this road. Sir, all right, they're calling it a bar, but they're about somewhere right in there was the dealership. Oh, it's taking me back. I never thought that I would get memories like this of a specific place in the world from a video game. Crazy. All right, so we've got, I'm not seeing any stutter yet at all. And FPS looks really solid. We're not into the heavy trees that we'll get into down around Durango. But these are, I mean, it's a decent amount of trees, I'd say. And everything seems to be really smooth so far. So let's see what happens as we get closer. I mean, I feel like they resolved it. Because I've been through here a couple times. I haven't really noticed it yet. Yep. There's Montrose. Beautiful.
Go straight.
The thing that gets me, and when I always know I'm back in Colorado, is it's got a very specific smell. It's this combination of sort of dusty pumice, which has its own kind of smell, almost like a slate smell, but it's very fine dust in the pumice, and also pine trees, and it's just a very unique. It's not unpleasant in any way. It's just a very unique smell. And the only place I've ever smelled it is Colorado. And as soon as I smell it, I know I'm back in Colorado. I think, I don't know, maybe there was a fix that they had in mind. And rather than releasing it as a patch for 1.39, they just waited and folded it into 1.40. But it seems better. That could just be confirmation bias on my part, or it could be, you know, who knows. But it seems better. And when we get down, Durango is the worst place that I've ever noticed it in the Colorado DLC. So if it's dialed there, maybe it's dialed all over. Because I saw it a little bit in Idaho as well.
Go straight.
And I'm trying to be careful here because I forget we are driving kind of a very big truck. Let's hop outside again and take a look at this thing. Yeah, that is not a small truck. All right, here we go.
Go straight.
Yeah, this is all pretty accurately rendered. There's not... I mean, the houses don't come up right onto the street. Down along this way, they are set back from the road a little bit more, but that's a little ticky-tack detail. That's not... You know what I mean? That's not taking away from the total experience of being in the DLC. Yeah, I like the... let me hop back out here. I like the yellow load straps. The yellow ratchet straps. I would, if I was driving this truck, I would probably want like 10 more of those on there. But it's a nice little detail. Yep, this is all really accurate getting down toward Ridgeway. And I believe we're just going to go from Ridgeway. Well, we're going to skip Ridgeway, and Delta was not here as well. So we're going to go directly from Montrose into Uray. And right, I guess, right between Ridgeway and Uray. They're only about 10 miles apart. But right between Uray and Ridgeway, there are the Orvis Hot Springs. And we would go, the girl that I was dating at the time, we would go ice climbing. I taught her to ice climb. Feather in my cap. How nice is that? You've always got a belay partner. And somehow, she was a total princess, but somehow she was into ice climbing. So we would go ice climbing in Uray. And then on the way home, we would stop and soak in the hot springs, which also have lithium in them. And they were, like, Native Americans regarded them as like a sacred hot spring. Because I guess for, I don't know, certain types of mood disorders that may affect one, a little bit of lithium is not a bad thing. So the hot springs have been known for hundreds of years as being very calming and very soothing. So we go ice climbing and then go soak in the hot pots at Orvis. Drive back to Grand and do it all over again. Favorite state to drive in? Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's got the most detail because it's the newest. And I feel like that can kind of cut both ways. You know, I feel like it's the most well executed, maybe other than the trees, which we are, in fairness, we are getting into right now. So let's see how we do on frame rate. So far, I have not noticed any problems at all. And I mean, I know the simple fix is just go in and pull a bunch of trees out. But if it was designed to look a certain way, I don't know that you could like just wholesale, you know, cut 2/3 of the trees or remove them or whatever, delete them, and have it still look the same. I feel like you would need to put something in there in its place to keep it looking the way that they originally intended it to look, or as close as possible. So whatever they did to fix it, I don't really notice any difference in the way the DLC looks. I think it still looks fantastic, but it does seem to play a lot faster. I say that. We were getting a little bit of slideshow right through there, but not too bad. It was a perfect day. Absolutely perfect day. And then from there, only probably about another 40 minutes to get home, maybe a little bit less. And that was, so I would say that for me, the two best ice climbing locations in North America that I've been to are Uray, which it's an ice park. It is a whole canyon, a whole gorge, specifically dedicated to nothing but ice climbing. It's, as far as I know, it's the only one like it. And then the other is the Weeping Wall in Banff, but it's much further away, and it's also very, very committing. It's a lot bigger. The canyon at Uray, I'd say the shortest climb is probably about 30 feet, and is I don't know, WI1. It's not a difficult climb at all. Up to, you know, overhanging, dead vertical and overhanging separated pillars, and really complex mixed stuff where you're dry tooling and, you know, just absolute nightmare fuel at 200 feet. So it's whatever you want it to be. But if you just want to go down and do some really simple stuff and learn to ice climb, you can do that there. And if you want to go absolutely buck wild, you can do that as well. Oh, Banff is next level. It's Banff, like, I'm going to need a minute. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. You're crying. Yeah, Banff is almost too much to look at. But when you get on the Weeping Wall, there's no easy stuff on the Weeping Wall. You can find pictures of it, and it's like, it just looks like a white wall, and there's really no scale or perspective. And you zoom in and zoom in and zoom in, and it's like, oh god, that's a person. It's really, really, it's really big and really intimidating. Yeah, I mean, this part where we are right now, we're not quite over the hill to Durango yet, but every time that I've been in Colorado prior to 1.40, I was really noticing big FPS drops in these areas, and right now I'm not. I mean, maybe a tiny little bit, but for the most part, we're playing very, very smooth through here. So I think whatever it was, they fixed it somehow. They resolved it. Found out you hate fondue? Yeah, fondue is fondue is like John Zorn. Fondue is like Fellini movies. There's no gray area. Nobody's just okay with fondue. It's either one or the other. And I also think in both ATS and ETS, I don't know if there is another area of the map that drives quite like this. Yeah, it's I don't know. I personally like it, but I'm not trying to change anybody's mind about anything. I completely respect people's opinions. You know, I mean, I'm big on charcuterie and brie, and my girl is we always have champagne in the fridge. It's not for special occasions. It's just to drink. Like, we had a bottle of champagne last night for no reason. That's just what she likes to drink. So she's civilized me, you see? So I'm all about charcuterie. I love it. And a little fondue, yeah, I'm down. Yeah, it's crazy how different the Canadian Rockies are from the Colorado Rockies. Colorado Rockies are like sort of pyramid shaped, and I don't know, they're just aesthetic. Canadian Rockies are like dead vertical, and they tend to be like black and kind of striated. It's just a whole different look to them. They're much more intimidating, I find, much more imposing. Years ago. To go to Banff. I mean, for me, the further north I get, the more, I don't want to say intimidating. I don't want to overuse that word, but yeah, I think that might be it. You know, the Rockies, I don't know. The Rockies are, even something like Longs is, they're almost like hikes. I mean, you can do technical routes if you want to, but you can hike to the top of Longs Peak, no problem. And you can sort of technically hike to the top of the Grand, but I mean, most people go the Exum Ridge. And it's, I don't know, it's getting more technical. And once you get into Canada, you know, I feel like there's really not as many peaks that you can hike to the top of. Yeah, Lake Louise. Yeah, I mean, I'm a sucker for the Tetons and Jenny Lake and that area. Oh, there's Red Mountain Pass. I think last time we drove over this in-game, I mentioned that I rode over Red Mountain Pass on a Triumph D675 in a snowstorm. I mean, you're not even supposed to ride a sport bike in rain. Jasper. I mean, I know I've been there. I'm trying to think when. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Banff, oh, probably half a dozen times. Well, because I lived in Missoula, so we were up in Glacier all the time. And it's just right over the way there. But yeah, we used to go back and forth from Banff to Lake Squamish and out toward Vancouver. Sorry, concentrated. So short answer is yes, but specifically when? I'd say probably 10 years ago. Yes, and Whistler, but only to mountain bike, never to ski. Uh-oh. Lost the preview again. Stream health is... Stream health is okay. This road is too twisty for me to restart the stream. Restart my preview. Alright, I think we're still streaming. I hope we are. Hang on, let me at least get to a straight stretch of road. I'm going to have to hold up traffic behind me. But I got to confirm that everything is still working properly. Man, there's so many cops on this road. Alright, so let me get stopped right here. And that says we're still doing okay. No dropped frames. Set the brake. Come over here and get this going again. Alright, chat seems frozen. I'm going to restart that. Alright. We're still okay over there. Alright, I'm going to start driving again. Let's see if this comes back in. It just takes forever to reload. I think the buffer is just absolutely full. It doesn't have a lot of RAM to begin with, and it's not super fast RAM anyway. Uh-oh. Hang on. It's... What in the world? It has reloaded somebody else's stream. That's not what I want to see. Come on now. Alright. This is professional streamer here, folks. That's what you're seeing. Oh my goodness. The wheels are coming off. Stand by. I'll get this figured out. Hang on. Let's do this first. Give you something better to look at. And then I'm going to come over here and just restart my browser. And have some coffee. Moment. There we go. Browser is reloaded. Stream is reloaded. Hop back in the truck. Brake is off. Get down to a good gear. Here we go. Oh yeah, it's... What? There it goes. Alright, preview's back up. Is it? Chat is reloaded.
Stay left.
Correct. I just used the laptop. I watch my own stream in the laptop. And that's where the chat is. Oh, you know what? It's getting dark already. Perfect. We might be able to finish this at night. That'd be perfect. Man, that was on my list when I was in Colorado and Montana. It was on my list to learn to fly fish, and I didn't, and that is definitely one of my regrets. Oh, hey, yeah, you've seen the whole stream. I missed part of it, but you've seen it all. But we came all the way down the hill to Durango, and I did not notice any FPS issues. So I'm going to go ahead and say that they've got that resolved.
Go straight.
I mean, I've got enough horsepower in this one. So if I carefully look over here, CPU is at 30% right now with the game running and the stream, and GPU is at 80%. I've thought about that. I'm going to, the next tower that I get, I'm going to have an Elgato directly on the motherboard. It's not going to be the USB Elgato. It's going to be straight into the PCMCIA. So yeah, that is definitely a goal. I really wanted to learn to fly fish, and I sort of missed my opportunity. And the girl that I was dating when I lived in Montana, her dad was a fly fisherman, and her grandfather had been a fly fisherman like back in the day, like the river runs through it era. And I remember her dad telling me stories like when her grandfather, his father, were fishing like when they were in their teens and 20s. Because of how expensive the gear was and how broke everybody was, and just as a matter of pride, because they were like Montana Lutherans, that if the fish was too big, if you felt like something was going to break, they would just jump in the river and swim with the fish while it was getting tired out, right? Like you couldn't fight it, or something would break and it would be gone. So there was nothing, right? There was no point to keep fighting it. So you just go with it to take the slack. Take the stress out of the system and wait for the fish to tire out and try to land it. All right, Foxy. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. So that was, I mean, when I heard stories like that, well, here, I'll summarize her dad for me. So he was a huge fisherman. He did want to talk about fishing, and he said, do you fish? Like one of the first times we met, he said, do you fish? And I said, yeah, I used to a little bit. And he said, you know, what do you fish for? And I said, well, I grew up in Pennsylvania, so bass, basically. And, you know, how'd you do that? Well, you know, spin cast. And he said, okay, so you don't fish then? Right. Okay. I see where you're headed with that. So he was very much a purist. And it was, I mean, I think he would have been the person to teach me to fly fish, but it was such a big step to take with him. And I was dating his daughter. So, I don't know. I felt like it was better to be, you know, kind of cut my losses. But I feel like that was the closest that I've come to learning to fly fish properly, and I kind of missed my opportunity there. It's getting a little chuggy right now. But I can't see that there would just be a problem on one side of Durango. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, but it is... Yeah. There it goes. It's the same place every time. FPS are dropping off right through here. Okay. Well, I mean, it's better. Better's better than worse, I guess. And let me, I don't know if you can see it right now. The game just looks a little bit odd. I'm going to throw my turn signal on and see if this does anything. Okay, so that problem is fixed as well. I was getting, the best way I can describe it is the game was kind of lurching. When I put my turn signal on, it's like every time it would light up, the game would kind of slow down, and then when it went off again, it would like speed forward. But they seem to have that fixed as well. All right, and I think yep, right around here. I gotta very carefully. Oh, we gotta quick make a long arm. Hang on. There we go. I don't know why. I feel like all my technology is fighting me today. Other than that little area just as we left Durango, it's been smooth all through here. So significantly improved. It might not be perfect yet, but it seems to be quite a bit better. Yeah, I would say that's like, I don't know, probably half the fun of fishing is just being in very beautiful places that are very quiet and being there by yourself. All right, so let me confirm the windows are up. So this new effect that they put in, see if we can see it through here. So it looks like the businesses, as you go past them, the businesses are reflected on the side window glass, or they were in the Volvo. If we can see it here. But rather than having that sort of top to bottom headlight cascade, I don't know, it just seemed kind of fake from the first time I saw it. I think the new effect they have is the horizontal reflection, am I saying that right? Of everything going by in the side glass. Oh, somebody dropped a downvote. What? Man, I don't understand people. I don't get it. If I go to a stream I don't like, I just leave. I'll drop a little hate on my way out the door. Take that with you. People are amazing. All right, so let's see if we get these lights up here. As we pass these businesses, let me see if I can turn my head. No, not really. You can see it very clearly in the Volvo. But it was like a weird kind of horizontal reflection going past. All right, and it said we are supposed to pull in and be weighed. How do we get back there? Favorite band? Tool, by far. Yeah, I don't get it. I've never understood that. And I'll take a look afterwards. There's never any comment, though. There's never any feedback. It's never like, hey, I dropped a downvote because, you know, this bothered me so much. You shouldn't do this anymore. It's never that way. It's always just like, we'll drive by. A little take that with you. All right. Thanks. Little do they know, this channel's not growing. I do. I like Pussifer. I like Perfect Circle. I think Pussifer and having the female vocalist, the way that their two voices work together is absolutely amazing.
Go straight.
All right, so we're supposed to go. It did say we have to get weighed. And I guess the only place to do that is back here. So here we go.
Get ready to turn left. Turn left.
I'm jealous. I mean, I love the I guess the freedom that he has. That I like the you can hear a little bit more electronic influence. I like that It's a little bit more playful almost than Tool, and a little bit sillier, a little bit more political, you know, a little bit of a lot of things. Yeah, I have absolutely no vinyl at all. If I got any, it would be just to collect it because I don't have a turntable. All right, so right there, get weighed, 76,000 pounds. Beautiful. Here we go. So we will continue on our way here, and we're going to, where are we going? Somewhere in New Mexico? Yeah, somewhere just past Farmington, I want to say. Gallup? I don't know. I should probably check these things.
Stay right.
Oh, I'm full as it is right now. I have more. I was mentioning that earlier in the stream. I used to be portable. I used to move state to state like every 6 months. I was just so mobile, and now I'm, whoa. I was just gonna blow that stop sign. We would have been right in front of that bus. But I am I'm getting domesticated. I'm settling down. I already have too much stuff. Oh, see, that's the tricky part.
Get ready to turn left.
Cartridges now are getting to be, it's like, I need some steam engine parts. Ooh, you're gonna have to find somebody to make that for you, sir. The permanent gamer is what we were kicking around earlier. It's not my puppy. I don't know. She was curled up on my lap last night. It was very nice. Puppies are, I mean, if you can't smile when you see a puppy, there might be something not okay with you. So it was nice having a puppy around, but it would also be nice not having a puppy around. I love you, baby. I don't know if she's watching the stream or not. Yeah. I mean, it works on several levels. How are we doing on fuel? We can stop, but I'm going to push it. I think we'll be okay. Yep, either the permanent gamer or Portibus. We were also talking about the possibility that I might need a proper streamer name, right? Zephyr. You know, something. Hotshot. Something. It's just got to be a catchy, kind of hooky name. And Portable Gamer it's way too boomer, and nobody ever gets the connection anyway, so I'm ready to find another one.
Go straight.
$55? I thought it was going 55. There we go. Yeah, see, you got it straight away, because the branding that I came up with for it was a genie smoking up out of a gamepad, like coming up out of a wisp of smoke. So yeah, as soon as it was an accident, it was an accidental nickname that I got when I was playing Tarkov, but something about it just seemed very, I don't know, wizardy. So yeah, that was a possibility. It still could be. Oh, this will never be a hiking dog. This is an 8-pound, very wiggly Jack Russell Dachshund mix that we have codenamed Asparagus for the moment, because she's very long and very wiggly and very hard to get a hold of. There you go. He gets it. So yeah. Asparagus, the Jack Russell Dachshund mix, is not hiking anywhere. Unless we got one of those backpacks and she, like, rode with me. I will, I'll throw up the test that I did for it. Yeah, she's very much like an eel. And my girl got her, she's tiny, she's 8 pounds. My girl got her a harness and, you know, got to decorate the nursery. So she got her a harness and a leash and everything. And we went through this a few months back. She fostered a Boston Terrier. She's big into Boston Terriers. She fostered a Boston a little while back who then got adopted out permanently. So you get all the stuff and then they go away not too long after. So it's kind of a process we're getting used to. But it is fun to go, I don't know, get them all kitted out. So she got her a harness, and the harness is the smallest one you can get, and she still slips out of it like nothing. Like, oh, she's like Andy Dufresne slipping out of the prison. You can't hold her. Yeah, they I feel like Jack Russells, I mean, little dogs want to fight everybody, but I feel like Jack Russells might actually win. Yeah, I was not a Boston fan. I had never, before I met my girl, I had never really been interested in a dog under about 75 pounds. I wanted a dog that could, like, play for the team, you know, have some utility. And she's into Bostons and has had Bostons. And they are, like, when they compete, they're in the non-sporting group, which is great because they are, damn it, let me get quick. My game minimized. They're in the non-sporting group. They don't do shit, man. Bostons are not, like, what do you need me to do? That? Nah, I don't want to do that. Yeah, the Bostons are, all they want to do is, like, be pampered and get in fights. Yeah, that's the way Bostons are. They're like depleted uranium dogs. You look at it, it's like, what does that dog weigh? Oh, I don't know, 12, 15 pounds. And you try to pick it up, and it's like trying to pick up Mjolnir. They're just anchored to the ground. They're so dense. So I've come around to Bostons, but this Asparagus is not a Boston. I don't know what she is. She's 100% purebred American Muttweiler. Just, you can see a lot of different things in there. Definitely a hybrid. So she's fun, and she's very sweet. And she's a rescue, of course, so she's, you know, you can see she's been a little traumatized, but she's coming around and is getting used to us. Yeah, and it's always funny to see a dog that small, right? I mean, Jack Russells aren't exactly teacup dogs, but they're pretty small. But then they get a hold of something, and it's like, how do you move your neck that fast? Like, how do they shake their head back and forth that fast without giving themselves a concussion? But if they can get a hold of a squirrel or a rat or something, they just shake it to pieces and snap its neck like it's what they're bred for. It's just in their DNA somehow to do that. Pitbull and Greyhound? Oh my goodness. That's terrible because you can't outrun them. There's nothing you can do. No birds at your bird feeder? Yeah. Word gets around, man. They've been warned. Yeah, it's really nice having a puppy around. And I know it makes her super happy as well. And we're doing a good thing, I guess, for the whatever dogs. Yeah, pitties are great. And I know they have the reputation and they're being like forced out different places. You can't lease, you can't have one, and I think that's uncalled for. Particularly for people that are rescuing them and trying to get them out of bad situations to break that cycle. You know, that they still have that rep. Uh-oh, now we're trapped over here. Oh, I always feel bad for hunting dogs that can't learn soft mouth. there's just, you just can't get them to understand, like, no, I need you to bring this back to me intact, buddy. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever want a small dog like that for myself, but it's very cool having one around the house. All right, let's get slowed down here. And we're still good on fuel, are we not? Quarter tank. I think we can make it to where we're going. We don't have too much further to go. Yeah, I don't think we have too much further to go at all because we're not getting back on the freeway. We're taking this left here. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's true of a lot of dogs. But the difference is, like, the margin for error with pitties is, it's what?
Stay left, then turn left.
Pardon me. You didn't see that. That didn't happen. Everything's fine. Obviously, we're just going to make a left turn. I think because pit bulls are so strong, it's like the margin for error. If you get that wrong, because they're so strong and they do have such incredible bite strength, that if you mess up with them, the consequences are greater. But yeah, I agree with you 100%. If you... I mean, any dog can have a really bad day, for lack of a better word, and do some damage. And that can happen with, you know, German Shepherd. That can happen with even big water dogs. You know, a big lab can do some damage, a 100-pound lab. So there's really, like, as far as, you know, what you can do as an owner to keep your dog from going crazy. I mean, you do everything you can, but some dogs, unfortunately, doesn't matter the breed or the size or anything else. It's like people. Sometimes they just kind of snap. But other than that, I mean, there's no breed of dog that can't be traumatized into being an a-hole. And unfortunately, I think so many people that do get pit bulls, I don't know, I wouldn't say they breed it into them, they sort of train it into them. And then it's up to rescue families and foster families to try to train it out of them. Yeah, I mean, it's any dog over about 60 pounds, you forget it's not quite a wild animal, but it's a little predator that hangs out in your house. I mean, a raccoon will mess you up. If you end up in the wrong situation with a raccoon, they can definitely do some damage, and they weigh 15 pounds. So animals are, particularly predatory animals, they're very dangerous little machines. But if you treat them right, I think the possibility of that is pretty low. I mean, when I was growing up, we had border collies in our house, and I was waiting back here on the far side of these tracks because it looked like we didn't have enough room for everything, but we did get the green light. Yeah, absolutely, they are. They're like truck nuts. Just a certain type of person has to have one. We had border collies when I was growing up, and they would, I remember them herding kids. It's different dogs. I mean, they just want to do whatever their job is, and I think pit bulls are super, super protective of their family. More so than other dogs. Like my girl's Boston's. She doesn't have a Boston right now, but Boston's that she's had in the past. Like if you wanted to come in and rob the place, they would, if you've got a treat for her, she'd be totally cool with that. And I know there are other breeds where you can offer them all the treats you want. Like if you're in the house and they can smell adrenaline on you, it's all bets are off. They absolutely want to know what's going on. All right, I can see the delivery marker right up there. train going by in the darkness.
Stay left, then turn left.
Stay left, turn left. Okay.
Turn left.
It's amazing to me that there are dogs that, just based on breeding and genetics, that they have like an innate characteristic to do one thing or another. Like the border collies that we had, they just want to herd things. Okay, well, we didn't train them. We didn't have any sheep. It's in their DNA somewhere, and that there are other dogs that want to protect or that want to chase or whatever. That's amazing. Pit collie and greyhound. Anything with greyhound in it is, I think, for me, extra intimidating, because I mean, most dogs you can't outrun, but you're definitely not going to outrun anything with greyhound or deerhound or staghound in it. Good luck. All right, and where are we at on time? 2 hours 15 minutes. Perfect. All right, so I don't anticipate ever doing a live stream on YouTube again, but we will be posting videos that we bring in from Twitch. So this will be the last stream on YouTube. Twitch will be where we're going to stream from here on out. Going to be down for about a week till we get the move completed. Well, the move will be completed, but till I get the rig set up again and get ready to stream again. Should be down for about a week, but I'll be on Discord. I will, as soon as I'm done here, I will remember to go post a link to the Twitch channel with an @everyone. And there's no content yet, but that will be, we'll start moving in that direction. And then I will definitely, as soon as I figure out how, I will download anything that we stream to Twitch and upload it to YouTube as a video. So you won't be able to see it live, but if you prefer YouTube to Twitch, you'll still be able to see all the content on the other platform. Does that make sense? I think it did. So, yep. I don't know why it was important to me to do a truck video. The very first video that I ever did on YouTube 3 years ago, almost to the day, was a truck video. And now here we are all these years later, and I figured we'd wrap up the same way. So this has been an absolute blast. I hope to see you all again. But if I do not, thank you so much for being part of the channel. Thanks for doing this with me. I say all the time, this is the best part of my day, hanging out with y'all, talking about video games, talking about anything that comes up in the chat. It is super, super fun. All right, so we'll stop this right here. Back to neutral. So brake, parking lights on, windows down, slowly. All right, engine is off. Let's see how we did. On time. 25 grand, 1700 XP. Beautiful. We should level up again. Probably next time we do this. So, right on. I will drop. I'll drop the Twitch address in Discord, and I will see you all in about a week, either live. Oh, I need to move that decal. Oh. I've got two decals overlapping. The little California logo that's on the door, that's part of the, let's see if it goes back to it. That's part of the truck, but then the text that is overlapping it, that's part of my skin. I need to slide that back. See if it shows it again. Come on. Oh, we can't see it on this door. Anyway, no matter. So, yep, I will catch up with y'all in a week or so, and we'll go from there. Any questions, look for me on Discord. You can DM me, but I'm always in the public chat as well. There you go. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being a part of this. I appreciate you. Good night.